over here getting a little workout in. And, yeah, want me to tell him? You want to tell him? Can I turn the camera to you? Can I turn the camera to you, though?
Yeah, sure.
This is Thero. He's got a wrestling tournament tomorrow. He's currently unbeaten. 2 matches, 2 victories. 1 tournament, 1 gold medal. Got a tournament tomorrow, so much like a test in school that you would cram for, he's cramming. He's out in the garage. He's hitting the dumbbells. We had a little Bosey ball going. And now we got a treadmill. Oh, show him these? All right. Before you think that's just a pile of weights, he's picking them up. He's doing something with them. What, champ? Oh, and the thing that I'm on now, which is known as, I believe they call this the Smith machine. All right. So anyway, I'm in the garage. And words matter, right? We're fighting for titles. There's nothing else they put up. We're fighting for titles, and then we use those titles to attempt to gain some traction towards words that they don't contest. Like legacy. Like lineage. Right? Like GOAT. Like overall, like best ever. That's right, champion. You are the GOAT. You're right about that. So, the words very much matter. And I don't love the idea that Tom Aspinall is the interim champion. But as a guy who's telling you that words matter, I can't change that. I can't take it away. That's the right word. And we have a number of things in this sport that guys try to do. They hope that they are popular enough to influence, right? And one thing that fighters are really good at is understanding a lie told enough times becomes a truth. So we've had guys that have gone out and defended a belt successfully 3 times. And then they'll go and put on a seminar or camp, and when they list theirself with their credentials, they will call themselves a 3-time champion because they defended it 3 times. Now, again, this is just semantical. I understand that, but there's a reason that if the champion wins the match, Bruce Buffer says, and still, as opposed to and new. It's a continuation. If you want to be a 17-time world champion like Ric Flair, you got to drop the belt 16 other times. It's just the way that it works. Semantics, right? But words matter. So Tom Aspinall is the interim champion. Now, where that becomes a problem, interim is not a catchy word. Like, we didn't choose that word because it catches on. That's what we did with BMF. That was a marketing word. That is something catchy. That is what Eddie and Gaethje did for Most Violent Man. Violent was a catchy word. Interim is not catchy. It just is the word. And that word means for now. That word ultimately means in the meantime. It's an undesignated time structure represented that will end only when another activity outside of control takes place. In this situation, you're the interim champion until Jon Jones returns. Now, that's a wildly important distinction that you fully understand, because the media has told you, and you believe because you got it from the media, that if Jon Jones fights Stipe, Tom Aspinall in theory will be in the front row as interim champion. If Jon Jones beats Stipe, or Stipe beats Jon Jones, and they don't end up retiring, then they, as the undisputed champion, will then and only then take on Tom. And it's that moment that you'll get your Hulk Hogan versus Warrior moment. 2 guys, both with belts, going out there to fight. That's the part that you're wrong.
I'm done.
Tom Aspinall is the champion. Great workout, son. Feel better? Check your weight now. Come back, tell me what you weigh. Please, we got the scale tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock. So, they weigh him in, but he didn't have to weigh anything. Before you think I'm going to make him go spit in a cup and run in the sauna. It's not the way it works for these kids. Okay. But you got to understand, the moment that Jon Jones fights, the moment they ring that bell, not when he returns, not when he gets licensed, not when he signs a contract, not when they have a venue, not when they have an announcement. He's got to be in the cage, the announcements are done, the door is shut, and the bell rings. But in that moment, There is no longer an interim. There is no longer an in-between. There is no longer a for now. Our champion is back, which means your interim champion is no longer champion. So if Jon and Aspinall don't fight next, it is not champion versus champion, nor can it be. Any more than a guy that defends his belt 4 times gets to tell you he's a 4-time champion. It's a nice thing to say. It's not true.
72.8.
72.8? All right, so 75-pound weight class? Good job. So the reason I bring this up is I'd like Tom to be called active. That's what I would like. I don't get my way. We don't get to change the name of the title, right? But we do fiercely adhere to whatever rules we make up on the spot, and I would like to hear active. There are people out there who, out of kindness, will say that Francis is the champion. They'll use the example. Francis was the champion, and he never lost. Therefore, he's still the champion. Like, I'm hearing you on your point and on your kindness. I'm hearing you. But if he's the champion of the UFC, I'm stating the obvious here, but that is a specific designation for people under contract within the UFC. Nobody else is even eligible. So the moment that contract runs out and goes over here, it's not even a topic no matter how badly you would like it to be. But you do have Francis, who is very good. And then you have Jon Jones, who is very good. Jon Jones has a championship that he never lost. Francis has a championship that he never lost. So Tom Aspinall is a very humble guy. Would just like to be recognized accurately. He is the champion of the UFC of heavyweights who are active. That's true. But it's important that this designation gets worked out, or that Aspinall and Jon are next. And that's the part that so many of you are missing. There is no reason for Aspinall to wait for the winner of Jon and Stipe. And many of you have argued that he should wait because of the opportunity, because of doing an interim champion versus the undisputed champion. And that's the part that you don't understand. He will no longer be interim champion. The moment that bell rings, he is no longer interim champion. And make sure that you do understand this, because if Jon Jones and or Stipe, whoever wins, is to retire, as we're told, there is a built-in false belief that Tom's interim title is instantly elevated to undisputed champion. There won't be an interim title to elevate. If Jon Jones and Stipe fight for the undisputed belt, the moment that happens, there is no interim champion. If they both retire, the moment they do that, the belt is now up for grabs. And that is largely mistold to you guys. And words do matter. Look, I've talked with doctors, and you've heard from doctors who have a consensus that the injury that Jon Jones is currently dealing with is a byproduct of the injury I gave him to his toe. So I am the one that stopped Jon, which means I am the champion. I never lost to Tom Aspinall, which means I am the champion, but I'm not active. Tom is the active champion. Francis and Jon are the former champions. I am the champion. I am the rightful champion. I am the linear champion. And it's a very interesting concept, because we want people to get the credit they deserve, but words matter. And the words get confused, message gets confused. You've got active champions, you've got former champions, undisputed champions. And then you have the champion.